Never tell me the odds. This is probably one of my favorite lines from a movie. It was actually from Star Wars. Han Solo said it. And it was in a scene where they were going through an asteroid field, and C-3PO was like, you know, the odds of making it through this asteroid field is like 3,751 to 0. And he was like, never tell me the odds. Right? I love that line, you know, and it's a line that I live by because throughout life, as a man, you will have all the naysayers telling you how it can't be done, how it's impossible, how you're not good enough, how you're too fat, too short, too old, too ugly. It's never going to work, right? We're constantly surrounded by naysayers, by people who are doing the little crabs in the bucket just because they don't want you to get out of the bucket. You know, they try to pull you down. You can't let them do it, right? You don't know how many people were telling me when I first started my business and I was leaving my corporate job, how crazy I was, how you can never make it doing that, right? And how they were warning me like, oh dude, if you start putting stuff like that out there on the internet, you're not gonna be able to come back to corporate America ever again. You know, you're not gonna be able to earn this type of income ever again. You know the odds of you coming back here? I'm like, oh God, dude, never tell me the odds. Right? When I started my pickup business and I had other pickup coaches telling me like, hey man, you know, the popularity of pickup it's starting to die off, unfortunately. And they're like, I think I'm gonna wrap it up and move on to something else. And I'm like, yeah, but the techniques still work. They work like crazy. They work better than before. And they're like, yeah, but you know, the popularity is dying off. You can't run a pickup business anymore. And I was like, well, that's exactly why I left my job. I'm gonna start a pickup business. They're like, dude, the odds of you starting a pickup business that succeeds is like 1,000 to 1. Never tell me the odds. And as we sit here now, I do have a successful pickup business, even in today's climate with feminism taking over, with all these haters out there, and with the decline in popularity of pickup. I still teach it. Why? Because it still works. If you follow me on Instagram, you see me out there like a lone wolf, going out and approaching girls, picking them up like I'm the only one. I feel like I'm cleaning up out there because nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. I'm cleaning up. My students are cleaning up. I'm like, it's like a cash grab, right? It's like all this cash around, it's like on the floor. No one's picking it up. I'm like, let's go get it. Right? All these women out there just waiting to be picked up. And now, unlike before, at the rise of the pickup community, when you had every guy out there approaching a girl and, you know, just constantly approaching them, you don't have that anymore. So when I approach these girls, it's not like I'm the 10th guy to approach them that day. It's like I'm always the first now. I'm like the first guy to approach them that day and the only guy that day to approach them. You can't listen to the naysayers. You have to go with what's in your heart. You have to go with you have to trust your gut instinct. And that's something that not enough guys do anymore. You don't trust your gut instincts enough. And my gut instincts always told me that I could do this. I could make it happen. It's possible. Right? Even when I started uploading this red pill content to my channel, I've mentioned this before. I'm part of an entrepreneurs group in Los Angeles. We have 1,500 members. And every single member that I divulged this information to was like, so there's this red pill content and it's really about exposing female hypergamy and stuff like that. I'm gonna start doing that because I feel like I owe it to my subscribers and I need to teach them the dark side of women too, just so they stop pedestalizing women so much. Every single one of the people in my entrepreneurs group is like, don't do it. You will wreck your business, dude. You will wreck your business. You can't go back to corporate America. They'll never hire you again. You're gonna be living on the street. You're gonna be homeless. All your employees around the world are gonna be, their families are gonna be on the street. Don't do it. You know what the odds are of you succeeding doing this? Never tell me the odds. Right? You have to trust your gut instinct, and my gut instinct told me to do it. You know, and I have like some haters on YouTube, like apparently they're like, oh, he plotted this. Look at the strategy behind this. And it was like, there was no strategy, jackass. It was just my gut instinct telling me do this, and I did it. Okay, and luckily, paid off. I always live by the value in business that my main focus is adding value to my customers' lives, to my subscribers' lives. The more value I add to your life, the more I teach you, the more you see this stuff works, the more you're gonna buy my stuff. That's how business works, right? That's how it works, that's all I did. But I trusted my gut instinct, okay? I do not listen to the odds. I don't. And even to this day, like with people dropping hater comments and like, they're like, you can't do this pickup forever. You know, you're gonna be an old man. You know, it's an old, lonely man. No one's gonna be there for you. It's like, no, dude, that's never gonna happen. I don't even think there are odds with that. It's funny because I get so many haters now telling me like, you're too old to do this pickup. You're too old. You know, and even when I started my career doing pickup, I want to say I was already in my mid-20s, like when I actively really started taking it seriously. I had people back then, you're too young to be doing it. You know, it's always the naysayers, right? Always the naysayers. Even when I left my corporate job, they were like, you're too old to be doing this. You're too old. You know, still doing it. Still doing it. Still dating young, attractive, beautiful women. Still making it happen. You know, and I still feel strong about going at least another 10 years. At least. Okay, I can still easily do pickup for another 10 years. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I enjoy it. It's fun. I just want to be out in the field. You can't listen to the naysayers. You have to trust your gut instinct. And your gut instinct will always, for the most part, be right. You know, even when it comes to choosing dating partners, trust your gut instinct. When it comes to business deals, trust your gut instinct. Don't look at the odds. Trust yourself. Have belief in yourself. Have faith in yourself. And whenever somebody tells you that you can't do it, you're not going to make it, it's impossible, here are the odds, you tell them, never tell me the odds. Because you don't want to hear it. Right? Never tell me the odds. Either get behind me or get out of my way. Right? You either support me or you don't. I've told girls that I'm dating the same exact thing. Like, half of them are really supportive. The other half are like, stop doing this game stuff. Stop doing this pickup. I don't like it. You know, I'm like, no, you're not my girlfriend. You can't tell me what to do. You either support me all the way or you don't support me at all. You're either with me or you're against me. That's the way it works. So you either support me or you don't. Never tell me the odds. Live by that motto, guys. Believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. You can do it. Okay, if you're trying to get six-pack abs, you can do it. If you're trying to get a beautiful girl in your life, you can do it. Much to the chagrin of all the naysayers out there, the looks, money, status people, you can do it. You want to get rich in life? You want to make more money? You can do it. You want to build a business that makes millions of dollars per year? You can do it. Doesn't matter what age you are, okay? Never tell me the odds. You can do it. I remember that people in my family would even tell me like, oh, what do you want to become in life? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to make a lot of money. I just want to be rich, right? And they were like, yeah, you can't do that. I'm like, really? Why? And they were serious. I was a kid. You don't tell a kid this stuff, right? They were like, yeah, you can't do that. I'm like, why? And they said, because in order to get rich, you have to already know people who are rich. Because people who get rich, they know other people are rich. So you can't do that. And I'm like, so I can't like build a business or something like that? No, only rich people do that. So I had a lot of this unfortunate brainwashing, even from family members, you know, but luckily I did have a few other family members. I could think of one in particular was when my sister, my oldest sister, married an entrepreneur. And this guy was in my life, you know, in my late teens, throughout my 20s, and he really taught me a lot about just being an entrepreneur and freeing myself from that 9-to-5 mentality, you know. And that was, I remember when he first came to my parents' house, my sister first started dating him, and he came to my parents' house in a brand new Mercedes convertible, and I was just blown away by that. I'm like, I had never seen a car like that, right? Definitely not in my parents' driveway. And I was just blown away. I was like, man, who is this guy? What is he? And he showed up and he had his suit on. He had his Mercedes top down. I was like, whoa. And he taught me a lot about business. He even helped with a few of my very first early businesses. So I thank him very much. Chris, if you're watching, shout out, Chris. I love you. I miss you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And, you know, he was somebody that really went against the grain, and he wasn't part of the 9-to-5 world. He didn't have a job. He was running his own business, and he was making a lot of money, and he was doing well for himself. And he was also one of the ones who taught me early on that not to chase the money. He was like, don't chase the money. You're never going to make money chasing money. I was like, what? Shouldn't you chase the money? And he was always like, no, chase value. find something where you could add value to people's lives. He's like, if you could add value to people's lives, you will become rich. It was like, just add value to their lives, help them, and you'll do fine. And I was like, okay. And sure enough, he was right. He was the first guy that came into my life that was not doing everything, was not doing anything for that matter, that everybody else in society was doing. And he was the first person I saw that was actually fairly well off, right? I had never seen that before. Everybody I had seen, like all the kids I went to school with and their parents, including mine, we were all middle class, we were all struggling, right? We're all coping with life, where he was thriving, and I had never seen that before. And I was like, wow, completely different attitude, completely different mindset shift, and it really taught me a lot. And it taught me so much that as a teenager, I was so influenced by him that I started to see school as a waste of time. And I know my parents didn't like that, because my mom's an educator. She was a teacher, right? My mom taught in the SF Unified School District for 30 years, public school, right? She taught. And so she didn't believe in that. My mom believed in like, hey, the higher education you have, the better you'll do in life. My dad felt the same way. My dad was like, go to school. I remember I even had a poster. It had like a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, and a helicopter, and a big house. It was a poster I used to have in my room, and it said, justification for higher education. You guys remember this poster? You guys who are Generation X? I had this poster in my room. Okay, so it had a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, and a helicopter, and a big mansion on a hill. And it said, justification for higher education, which just basically meant that you should keep going to school. At least that's how I read it. Okay, now I would read it differently. I would probably read into it as like, maybe they're talking about entrepreneurship and thinking for yourself, right? But back then, I saw that as, okay, go to school and get like a law degree or a doctorate degree, and then maybe I could get this mansion, the house, the Ferrari, the Lambo, and all this. Whereas once I met Chris, and he came into my life, again, my sister's husband, I completely changed my attitude. And I was like, okay, Chris didn't go to school. I'm like, he's like kicking everyone's ass. And I remember removing that poster from my room. And I was like, this poster's bullshit, right? Because again, I equated it to education, meaning going to school to get this stuff. And I'm like, that's bullshit, because Chris has a better way, right? And then sure enough, I started trying out my own businesses. I started like a number of businesses that would like fail, but then every once in a while I would have one that succeeded. Even when I started my pickup business that I'm running now, that I've been running for the longest time now. Before I did this, I ran a few other internet companies that went bust. I lost everything I had, but I kept plugging away, kept going, and then finally this one worked, right? To the point where, I financially freed myself, and I never have to go back to a corporate job ever again, because even now, like if anything happened to the business, all my money is invested very well. I'd be fine, right? I'd find something else to do. I'm starting to do a bit more business coaching now, so obviously I would just move on to that. I don't need to be teaching pickup, which is funny because a lot of my haters are like, he's trying to just make money off it, like sell his pickup courses. And it's like, dude, you don't understand. I don't even need to do this anymore. I choose to do it just because it's enjoyable for me. It's fun. I like doing it. That's why I stay. Okay, that's the only reason why I stay. Like, you should see what I charge business coaching students in my entrepreneurs group, like to help them with their businesses. What I charge like to teach guys pickup is nothing compared to what I charge to help people, bring their business to the next level. And I really lost interest in school after that. I really did. Even though I kept going, I didn't have the same passion for it anymore. After I met Chris, I was like, I feel like I'm wasting my time here. And even while I was in college, like I was still in school, I already started my very first business while I was still in college, right? And that very first business did actually become successful for a little while. And there was a point where I was like 21, you can see on my Instagram, there's a little Ferrari on there. But yeah, I had success early on, and then I plunged. I've gone through my ups and downs. I remember when the stock market crashed in the early 2000s. And my girlfriend at the time, who I had been with for 4 years, like I lost everything, right? I lost all my money in stock market. It crashed. This was the dot-com bust of 2000. And I remember not freaking out. I remember telling her, don't worry, I'll figure something out. I got it covered. Don't worry, right? I didn't lean on her. I didn't cry about it. I didn't even freak out. I just said, I'll be back. Because I believed in myself, right? I believed in myself. But you know what? She didn't believe in me. She did not believe in me. And she took off. She left. Only to regret it later, right? She was another one. Like a lot of my girlfriends who've left have regretted it. And so she left, and sure enough, I was back on my feet. Probably like less than a year later. I got my first corporate job with the Fortune 100. So I literally went from negative in my bank account to 6 months later buying a top-down convertible Mercedes, literally within a 6-month span. But she was already gone, and I didn't want her back after that, right? Because when I was at zero, I remember I was literally scraping around my car for change because I wanted to get a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I was hungry, so I was like looking for change in my car so I could afford to buy like a $1 cheeseburger at McDonald's. I think with tax, it was like $1.07. This was in 2000, I want to say it was like 2001 or 2002. So it was after everything was depleted after the dot-com bust. I went through my entire savings and I was down to like change. And then I got the corporate job, right? I got the corporate job after that. And I mean, I had businesses before that, so it was hard for me to go back to a real job. But I took it just because the income was so high. And it didn't require me to stay in the office like 8 hours a day. So, I mean, there was a lot of benefits to it. And I took that job and, you know, I worked there for a few years and I made a ton of money, you know, and I made enough money to hold me over while I built these other businesses that failed and ate up all my savings to get to the business that worked, which was my, you know, pickup and self-development business. When I was working in corporate America, man, I picked up the pieces pretty fast, but she left. Like I said, she left because she didn't believe in me. And for her, in her head, she was like, the odds of this guy coming back from this, losing everything in the stock market crash, the odds of him coming back are impossible, right? It's like 1,000 to 1. Never tell me the odds. Never tell me the odds. And as I teach my students, always place all bets on yourself, okay? Place all bets on yourself. No one but yourself. Believe in yourself enough. Play to win in life. Don't play to not lose. Play to win. Tell all the naysayers to shut their traps and never tell you the odds. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Too many of you guys are still not yet subscribed to the channel, so please do that. It helps me out a ton. When you subscribe to the channel, it's free, it doesn't cost anything, and anytime I upload a brand new coaching video to YouTube, you will be the first to know about it, okay? So you'll get it first, you won't have to like look for it and dig for it through the search engines. You'll get it right as I upload it. And all you need to do is hit that subscribe button, okay? All you need to do is be subscribed to my channel. It doesn't cost anything. So hit the subscribe button now. I really appreciate it. And for you guys who want to support my work and my content even further, all this red pill knowledge I'm teaching guys, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. Okay, I'm hosting it on a private platform away from YouTube where you cannot access my premium content unless you are an active member of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel. And the first month is only $1, so it's only $1 for the entire first month of being a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male channel. And it's real simple to get access. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.
If I may say so, sir, I noticed earlier the hyperdrive motivator has been damaged. It's impossible to go to light speed.
We're in trouble.
You don't have to do this to impress me.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.